two kiddos should have an atlas and a paper map. Please don't write on the atlases. You can write on the paper map, yes? Okay. Okay. I'm going to give you just a minute to go ahead and flip through the atlas. Have you seen an atlas before?
Yes.
I have maybe. So go ahead, open it up. Just take a look at what's inside. Get familiar with it. I'm super excited to be here today to see you and your awesome teacher. And I walked in the door and we thought, oh my goodness, I had so many of you in second grade, yes?
Yes.
So if you were with me, I know it was so fun, it was best year ever. If you were with me in second grade, you're going to have kind of a little heads up on what we're doing today. We're going to play Mystery Skype. So, yeah. I know. You remember?
I remember.
Okay. Is there, if you can hear me clap one time. What a Mystery Skype is we're going to be connecting with another 5th grade class somewhere in the United States. And we're going to be Skyping with them. But our job is to figure out which state they're located in. Let me let that sink in for just a minute. There is a rule to this game, though, and we're not actually going to be Skyping today. You're just going to play with me. So it's going to be your team, your class, versus me. Sound good? Okay. The only rule to this game is that you have to ask, your questions have to be yes or no questions. So just take that in a minute. It has to be a yes or no question. How many states are there in the United States?
50.
50 states. So I live, today, you know where we live, yes? There's a little happy face on your map here. We live in Southern California. So for today, I'm going to pretend like I'm living in a whole different state. So I'm somewhere else in the United States. And your job is going to be to try to figure out where I live.
This is fun.
Okay? I want you to just take a second. And I want you and your partner to maybe on the back of your map, kind of just think for a minute, if I call your stick or your card or I call on your team, what is your first question that you're going to ask me to try to figure out where I am? Wait, I don't want you to ask me, I don't want you to tell me, I want you to talk to your neighbor. And write that question down on your paper. So if I call you guys, your stick or your card, what question are you going to ask me?
Oh, what question? What password do you have? Do you have transportation?
Hey, if you and your partner have your question ready, will you give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're ready? Perfect. I see 1, 2 groups. I see 3 groups are ready. So you're going to try to figure out where I am using yes or no questions. Once you've figured out where I am, I'm going to try to figure out where you are. I need someone, or actually you can all do this. Every time that we ask a question, I want you to just tally it so we can keep track of how many questions you ask. Sound good? Okay. Do you guys have sticks or cards in?
Yeah.
Right.
There's 3, I think.
Okay. Ready? So if I call your group, your group can ask me your question. Sound good? All right, Jaden. Do you and Landon have a question for me? Yeah.
Do you have In-N-Out burger, yes or no?
Do I have an In-N-Out burger in my state? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
I do have an In-N-Out burger in my state. Oh. Boys and girls, go ahead and tally that. That's one question. Do you have a question? Remember, your job right now is to try to figure out which state I live in.
All right.
Are you clear about your job?
Yes.
Domenico.
Yes, I do. Are you from the eastern region? Like from California east?
Are you asking me if
Yes.
I am east of California? So if this is California, are you asking me if I'm in a state that's east of California?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
All right, that means not Oregon or Washington.
Okay, wait, so let me tally that. And Domenico, you just said something. Say that a little bit louder. It means you're not in
Oregon, Washington, Nevada, or Idaho.
I could be in Nevada. Nevada is east of California, right?
Oh, yeah. But then it's also north. Because Yeah, because California's slanted.
It's more northeast.
It's not like that outside
So so you now know I am east of California. So let me see here. Is anybody using their pencil to do anything on their map?
No, I have crayons.
What are you doing with your pencil? Oh, what are you doing? Are you crossing something off?
Yeah, we should cross
Oh, what are you crossing off?
on the state. Cross out.
Which state?
Alaska, Washington.
Yeah, you know I'm not in Alaska, so you guys are crossing. That's a good idea. That's actually a good idea.
Well, you know we're not
If I'm east of California, can I be in California?
No.
Can I be in Hawaii?
No. Probably.
Hawaii is west of California. Hawaii is actually way out here. And Alaska is actually way up here. That was 2 questions so far. Okay, does anybody else have a question they might want to ask? Wendy, you and your partner have a question for me? Am I east of Missouri? So let me look at my map and find Missouri. Missouri is right here. East is this way. Now I just want to clarify. When you say east, do you mean directly this way? Or do you mean anywhere, like how are you, tell me what you're thinking. Okay, instead of using a state, let's use our maps to try to find a landform or some sort of big thing on your map. You can use either one. So instead of asking me, I need you guys to help Wendy out and her partner. Instead of asking me, are you east of Missouri, try to find another landmark or something big, maybe a river, maybe a body of water, maybe a mountain range that you could use. Wendy, do you want to call on a group to help you maybe reword your question, just so it's a little bit clearer for me to answer yes or no?
Orlando.
Yay.
Talk to her.
The Pacific Ocean.
What about the Pacific Ocean?
East of it.
Of course.
Is that the question that you want to ask me, Wendy? I see some. Go ahead, speak up. You guys are on a team. This is you.
It's the same thing as California. The Pacific Ocean, if you go east, that's the left of it.
Would you like to reword your question? Wendy, do you have your question ready, or do you want to ask your team for help? If you have I see some kids that have ideas, and they can help you because this is you guys.
Oh, are you north of Gulf of Mexico?
Well, wait, let's go back because she asked me. Let's start with her original question. She said, "Are you east of Missouri?" I'm just not clear if she's talking about like is your state right next to Missouri, or is it
The entire thing. Like Missouri all the way out. Missouri from all the way out. All the way out.
So like between Missouri and the Atlantic Ocean.
Basically.
There you go. Okay, talk to Wendy. Help her reword that question.
So like you could ask her, are you somewhere between Missouri and the Atlantic Ocean?
Perfect. So sometimes, yeah, use each other. If somebody has an idea, use it and help each other build on that. I am not in between Missouri and the Atlantic Ocean. I am not. That's number 3. Oh, I see kids crossing things off. What are you crossing off?
From Missouri all the way down. That's where Bahamas goes.
Would you call that a good question that was just asked?
Yeah.
How
Better
come?
than ours.
Why?
It's because we only crossed out a little bit. And that crossed out like tons.
We crossed off a lot of states.
Nebraska.
She might be.
Is Wyoming.
found my copy.
Do you have a question? I hope I picked your card. All right, Genesis. Hey, did you hear her question?
No.
You need to ask her. Could you please repeat that?
Can you please repeat that? Are you in Texas?
Am I in Texas? The answer is no. I'm not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Do you see the difference between those two questions?
Yeah.
What's the difference between those two questions that were just asked? Go ahead. Anybody, go ahead.
Oh, the reason why is because that one crossed out a whole bunch and the other one only crossed out one.
We crossed off a lot on this one. We only crossed off one. You could, I did have a class once. It took them 38 questions, so 38 tally marks. So that was question number 4. 38 tally marks. They went like this. Are you in South Dakota? Are you in Utah? No. Are you in Pennsylvania? No. 38 times. 38 questions. Courtney, do you and your partner have a question? And if you're not sure, it sounds to me like a lot of your friends on your team have ideas. Feel free to ask them or use them to help you.
Are you between a northern region?
Am I in the northern region? Is that what you're asking me? In the northern region? What is considered the northern region of the United States?
The middle world. Nearby Canada.
Yeah, Washington.
Washington, Idaho.
Is Colorado northern?
No.
Are we sure? Is there maybe a map in here that'll show us that? I don't know if there is. Let me grab my iPad and see if we can figure this out. You'll be able, when you're doing your Mystery Skype, to use your iPad. All I did is I just pressed Siri, and I'm not positive which states in the United States are in the northern region. So I just asked Siri which states are the northern states, and she found an answer for me. So let's see here. The northern states of America are, let's see, I think we already eliminated a lot of these states.
Yes.
Wow, there's a lot, huh?
Yeah. We already crossed the line.
You know what would be helpful for me? I think I'm reading this and I'm thinking, gosh, I don't. And the reason I'm confused is because I don't see
New York?
I don't see Montana on this list, and to me it looks like Montana would be northern. So I'm a little bit confused right now.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, and is it okay to be confused?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna type in map of the northern states.
She types fast.
Hey, maybe you guys could help. Would it be okay if they help? Absolutely. Figure this out. So why don't you guys, you and a partner, you need wait, don't move yet. Wait till I say go. One iPad for the 2 of you, and I need you to see if you can help me determine which states in the United States are the northern states, and mark them on your map right now. Go ahead.
The northern states of the United States.
So I think when we're talking about the United States, perfect. We've got them here. I think we're talking more about regions. So we're looking for the northern region of the United States. Did you find something else? So it looks like the reason that Montana wasn't on that list is because that's considered the western region of the United States. So there's the western region, of the Midwest, the south, and there's the northeast.
There's not no north.
Yeah, so they usually don't talk.
So, we decided
Who asked me that? Who belongs to that question? Courtney. Okay, so when you why don't you guys decide if you want to reword your question and maybe use the regions rather than saying the northern part.
It's funny. Between Missouri and Colorado. States between Colorado.
And keep in mind, for those of you that are keeping track on your map, what you've already crossed out.
Or like,
So using what you have left, what could you ask me using these regions? Do you want to reword it, or do you want me to call another card? Do you guys have a question for me? Oops, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, let me call it. Luis and Lenny, do you have a question for me?
You are crossing off your map.
Ask your team if you need help. Call on somebody that has a question.
Are you from Idaho?
Do I live in Idaho? No. You do not live in Idaho. So that was question number 6. I see lots of things with questions. Lenny.
Nevada. Do you live close to Utah?
Do I live close to? When we say close to, usually when we're looking at a map, we use the word border. So are you asking me if if my state borders Utah? Mm-hmm. Now when we say border, that means does my state touch Utah?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. Okay, sir, seven questions. Orlando.
Is it a popular state?
Is it a popular state? Well, that question, he asked me, is it a popular state? What does popular mean?
Famous.
It's famous and it has a lot of population.
Landmarks. No, landmarks. Famous landmarks.
Yeah.
It had a lot of landmarks.
Has a lot of what?
Visitors?
I think when we talk about the word popular, we mean like a lot of people like it. Well, they're two separate questions. The word popular and the word population are two separate things. The word population has to do with how many people live in my state, and the word popular usually means like, do people like your state? Do they like to visit your state? Is it a neat, cool state? The word popular is usually an opinion. So I think my state is a popular state, but you might not. I don't know. That's question number 8.
What do you take off?
What do you take off for that question?
Nothing.
Nothing. You can't take it. You can't eliminate anything. Aiden,
No, she's not here.
do you want to call on somebody to help you up so you can kind of get caught up? Call in a group. You can tell me yes.
That's okay, she's new, so she doesn't know
No, that's
anything.
okay. Oh, no problem.
Do you have a lot of natural disasters where you live?
Oh, great question. What kind of natural disasters do you mean?
Like tornadoes, tsunamis, hurricanes?
Oh, that is tsunamis. Then it'll be
Why don't you pick one of those natural disasters, because they're different answers for different natural
I think
disasters.
tornadoes.
I do have
That has a lot of mountains. That does not have a lot of
Did you guys know, did you know that there's a place, you were in my class in 2nd grade, you know this. There's a place in the United States called Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
Why don't you check on your iPad, see if you can figure out which states are in Tornado Alley.
What if I just try to trick you?
I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just answering your questions. Yes or no? How am I going to trick you?
What's your sports team name? I know every single sports team.
Class.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna ask my friend Angelina. Would you like to reword your question to maybe use Tornado Alley in your question?
What kind of, do you have a state in Tornado Alley?
Is my state in Tornado Alley? Yes.
Maybe bigger.
Nebraska. It's Nebraska. Nebraska. Okay. Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
That was 10.
South Dakota, Nebraska.
Oh, look at all the questions you have. Francis, do you have a question?
Kansas. Are you in Kansas?
I am not in Kansas.
How many questions?
You're at 11 questions. Lily.
Are you in Oklahoma?
I am not in Oklahoma.
Could be something.
Nebraska.
But South Dakota's not.
Yes,
one
it
of
is.
the.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
It doesn't say it is. Yeah, it is. I'm not very good at reading.
Louise.
Nebraska.
I do not live in
Are you?
South Dakota?
It's South Dakota. It's South Dakota.
Audrey?
You live in South Dakota?
I do live in South Dakota.
I knew that.
Someone probably had South Dakota this whole time.
If you can hear me, clap one time. If you can hear me, clap 2 times. Kate, your job now, your score was 14. You asked me 14 questions. You figured out where I lived in 14 questions. I'm going to step outside. Your job with Mrs. Duncan is to pick a state somewhere in the United States. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to try to beat your score of 14 questions.
I know a really good one.
She's good.
Do you think Mrs. Patterson can beat you?
No!
Think of one in your head when I call your card. That's going to be your secret state, but I'm not going to mark it on here. We have to think of it in here. Okay?
Miss Duncan, how about this? That one.
Christian.
How about we write it on the back of our paper?
What would you like the state to be? Oh,
Yes.
Rhode Island. Okay. Mom's the word. Don't give it away.
Okay.
Say what?
They think they can beat you.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I'm going to use my hips kind of.
Kind of. Why are you saying that?
I'm going to use my physical map for my first question, just so you know what I'm looking at. You might want to look at it too. It's on page 12 and 13, just in case. My first question for you is your state, or do you live east of the Mississippi River?
Oh, Mississippi.
Mississippi River.
You know what that is?
Oh, what is it?
Oh, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Oh, that was
Yes.
Do we?
Yes.
What are we gonna cross out?
Everything.
What are we gonna
Oh,
cross
I get to
out?
cross out. So
What's she
you
gonna
said
cross
you
out?
do live east?
Yeah.
So I get to cross out all. I get to cross out all.
Oh, what a good
She was. I told you she was gonna win by a landslide. Hawaii.
Mexico, you know that for this round, you know that I don't live in Mexico because Mexico is another country. I do, and I know that you live in the United States, yes? Maybe if you get really good at this, we can expand it to another country, but, okay. So I know that you live east of the Mississippi River. Does your state border the Atlantic Ocean?
Yes.
Are you I told you she was gonna win by like 3.
Wait, but are you listening to the questions I'm asking?
Yeah.
What am I using?
Keywords.
I'm using
that.
Big pieces.
big pieces. Exactly. No, that's exactly what it is. I'm using big pieces. Because when I split, when I use that river, the country is divided into 2 big pieces. When I use the Atlantic Ocean, that's pretty much cutting this part that I have left into 2 big pieces. So I know your state touches the Atlantic Ocean, so you can't be Vermont. You guys probably picked one of those tiny little states.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
Okay.
It's really big.
Well, don't tell me, don't give me a hint.
Sorry, I
Oh, they want to make sure I put a tally mark.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Two.
Okay. All right, wait, let me look at my book. I gotta.
She's just
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think of something I can use that's gonna help me eliminate more than one state. Because I could just start saying, do you live in Florida? Do you live in Georgia? I don't want to do that. I want to know, does your state border Canada?
No. What's Canada at?
Canada is a country directly north of us. So you're not in Maine, you're not in New Hampshire, you're not in New York. Oh, I know what you guys, I know what I can ask you, but I gotta ask my iPad first.
We lost.
You haven't lost yet, don't give up.
14.
What are the 13 colonies? Is it 13? I haven't asked you your question
No,
yet.
we're not.
Give me a minute.
No, we're not.
Is your state one of the 13 colonies?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Come on.
They're studying the 13 colonies right now.
That's
So
all of
they-
them. That's all of them. Yeah, that's pretty much all of them.
Let me just think through this. You could be in Delaware. Where's Delaware? Right here, this little one. You could be Pennsylvania, because I don't know my 13 colonies, so
We do.
I know you do.
Virginia.
No, you couldn't be in Pennsylvania. You could be in New Jersey. You could be in Georgia, but
Virginia too.
you could be in Connecticut. You could be in Massachusetts.
What are you doing, guys? You should have took a
Be
quiet. Guys, stop laughing.
You could be in.
Sorry.
Where's New Hampshire? I already crossed up New Hampshire, so you're not going to be there.
Don't say anything. You could be in Virginia.
You could be in New York. No, you can't be in New York. You're not bordering Canada. You could be in North Carolina. You could be in Rhode Island.
No!
Okay.
Stop, you guys are weird.
Why do you guys always lie? You guys lie.
Patterson's really
I want to make sure that you can hear what's going on in my brain. I think that's 3 questions, right?
You asked for one of the 13.
You messed up.
I want you.
She said, are you one of the 13?
I want you to be able to hear what's happening in my brain. I'm trying to think of a question. I don't just want to start going, are you in South Carolina? Are you in Georgia? Are you in North Carolina? I'm going to try to look at my map and see if I can ask you a question that eliminates more than one state. And what I notice is that I see that like the states in the south, the bottom part, are like, they look to me on the map bigger, and these ones are also little. So I don't want to ask you, is your state a little state or is your state a big state, because that's not.
That's gonna get in the way.
That's kind of like the popular
Is that a
thing.
big state?
Ours is kind of.
That does, but that would give it away because then she'd cross off all the big ones
Yeah,
and then she'd only have the little ones to choose
And
from.
if you say a little one.
And she'd only have like 4 states
Little
to choose
state and big state are not really, it's not really academic language or vocabulary that we use when we're talking about maps. I'm trying to think of a way to word that. Do you think of a way to word that, adults?
Large?
If it has a greater land area than,
Oh, the area of your,
is the area of your state larger than
This
Tennessee
state.
or smaller than Tennessee?
okay, I'm going to scrap that. I'm going to come back to it. Does your state border North Carolina?
No!
No. So you don't border North Carolina.
It could be North Carolina.
You could be, if you don't border North Carolina.
Yeah.
Georgia doesn't, oh it does, you're right, thank you. So that was 3, that was pretty good. Okay.
That's one more tally. Woo, she's at 5 right now.
I can look at my maps.
We lost so much.
Well, I told her to look in a way.
Peter Griffin. She's letting.
Right there. She's very good at trying to give it out. We were trying to guess.
Okay, I want you to take a look, here's what I'll show you what I'm looking at. I know you're somewhere over here.
Where's Delaware?
I'm gonna look at this map.
You see how Mrs. Patterson is really researching the question that she wants to ask? She's not just coming off the top of her head, she's researching.
Well, this is bothering me. Do you live in North Carolina?
No.
Okay, so you're not down there, so I'm working this with, so that's a question. So you did pick one of these little states to try to trick me.
Oh, shit.
We lost.
Wait,
We lost that all.
How many times more? She only has 6 BF.
is the capital of your state, capital, is the capital of your state Hartford?
Wait,
What?
what?
Well,
No.
Can we find the answer?
No.
What is the capital?
No.
No.
Don't agree with Jamaica yet. Hartford is in Connecticut.
No.
Not in Connecticut. Woo, that scared me. No.
So you're not in Rhode Island? Rhode Island? No.
It's on Connecticut.
Oh yeah, see, I can't read
Yeah.
that. Okay, so that was a question.
You're incorrect.
You're incorrect.
You're incorrect.
Oh.
What happened?
I don't know what you guys are doing. You just make like.
That's medical.
They do some weird stuff.
Does your state touch Chesapeake Bay?
No.
That's not, you're not gonna find that on your map, on that atlas. Let me show you. I'll show you.
It doesn't have a bay there.
Let me show you. So I will zoom out. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Here's Delaware. Here's Maryland. Here is Chesapeake Bay.
No.
Nope.
Because that's like right by Utah. Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is right by Utah.
So you're not in Delaware, you're not in Maryland. So that was
Oh, I see Chesapeake Bay.
Wait, you forgot to put
It's this water right
Little
here.
water thingy.
Who knows?
It looks so small, but in
So
reality,
you either have to
it's
be in Rhode Island or Connecticut.
Or Massachusetts.
So down to 3.
Wait, you need to add.
We crossed off Connecticut.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, because the capital of it was Connecticut.
Two questions. So you're either in Rhode Island or Massachusetts.
It's red now. Why is it red?
She's gonna win. Do you live in Rhode Island?
Yes.
You did pick the teeny tiniest little state. That was a good game. You guys really stumped me there. I want you to continue practicing this game. I'm gonna leave a bunch of maps with your class. Maybe if you finish your work early, you can grab a partner, you can pretend like you're in a state, ask questions back and forth. I want you guys as a class to make a list of really good questions, okay? Think about the questions that you got that were really helpful to you. Okay? And then Mrs. Little and I will come back, we'll play again, and then we're actually going to connect you on Skype with the other 5th grade class, and you're going to play with the other class. Because it's fun playing with me. Well, I think it's fun playing.
I feel like it would be better with other people.
It is. It's way
Because they
more
don't
fun
have
with other kids.